the Arizona Cardinals. We have Christian Kirk, a guy who had, I would say, a breakout, maybe a mini breakout, a kind of a quiet breakout in 2020. And then their next option is a 36-year-old Larry Fitzgerald. I actually don't think he's officially re-signed with them. You can correct me if I'm wrong there, but they have $52 million in cap space, which puts them at 14th. They also have the 8th overall pick, an early second round at the 208, and then a early third round pick at the 308. This is another one for me where, like, can we get Henry Ruggs into that offense with Kyler? Though being at the 8th spot, I think they can wait a little bit if they want to take Ruggs as a guy who can stretch the field in the air raid offense that Kingsbury is running over there at head coach. Could also go with the Jerry Jeudy or a CeeDee Lamb as well to go opposite of Christian Kirk and really give Kyler all the weapons that he's going to need, young weapons that he can grow with. Alex, what do you think they do? What do you do if you're the Cardinals?
Yeah, they have signed back Fitzgerald
Okay.
to address that point. He's back for $11.5 million, close to that in 2020. So I think he's he's a Cardinal for life. He's going to be more of a transition guy. They've got a young team, a young head coach. I think they're very likely to bring in another receiver and have Fitzgerald kind of mentor that receiver room and Kyler Murray a bit to set them up for the future. So if I'm the Cardinals, I think I'm probably not drafting another guy. They drafted 3 wide receivers last year. Andy Isabella in the second, Akeem Butler in the fourth, Keyshawn Johnson in the sixth. So for me,
Dang.
am I really going to go out and use one of my, top picks on a receiver again? I wouldn't, but I think Cliff Kingsbury will. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see him go out and get a receiver at 8 overall. I mean, Cliff Kingsbury, he's an offensive guy. We all know it. Their defense was awful last season, so they should address the defense. But if they go out at 8 and they get Jerry Jeudy or Henry Ruggs or CeeDee Lamb or one of these guys, it wouldn't really shock me one bit. Maybe they wait and take a guy later. But, if I'm running the Cardinals, I'm probably picking up a free agent. They do need to re-sign Kenyon Drake on the offensive side of the ball, but we all know David Johnson's got a huge cap hit, and he could get cut, which might not clear up more space for this season, or maybe he's traded and they are able to shed some of that cap. So maybe they're able to free up some space and go out and get another receiver that's going to help build with this nucleus with Kyler Murray and with Christian Kirk and have Larry Fitzgerald teaching them. So, I think they could be players for some of the top name free agents. I don't think A.J. Green makes a ton of sense. They obviously would take Amari Cooper if they had the chance. I don't think there's a way he goes there, but a guy like Robbie Anderson could make some sense. Maybe a Brashad Perriman, a guy who's still pretty young and had first round draft capital coming into the league, could make some sense. So I think they could go out and sign a free agent, but they will address the position. I just don't know that they're going to move forward with the guys they got. It seems like they have 4 or 5 mediocre receivers, and 4 or 5 mediocre receivers doesn't make one good receiver. So I think they do need to address the position. Maybe they wait one more season and see if someone else breaks out, but it's unlikely at this point. So there's a ton of options with the Cardinals. If I'm them, I'm not drafting someone, but personally I think they will.
Yeah, Kingsbury wasn't hesitant to move on from Josh Rosen and kind of just do a hard reset on that Cardinals roster. I feel like you could do the same at the wide receiver position. They're moving on from Damiere Byrd, who was kind of their field stretcher that was in there, but didn't really show too much for them. Any field stretcher they can get their hands on, maybe Jalen Reagor, maybe Henry Ruggs, that they can get. I think would help. And I'm very interested to see this Cardinals offense. I think we saw a lot of promise from Kyler Murray. I can't wait to see what they can do there and, bringing the air raid to the NFL. It's a very entertaining system just as a spectator.